I wanted to bring you here to say thank you. Thanks for choosing me. I wanted to show you how committed I am to you. I'm here for you, to support you, and love you with all of my heart.
Wow. You've been with me through so much. I love you. You're the best boyfriend I could have ever asked for. You pulled me out of my darkest place and never judged me for my past. And I can't wait to spend the rest of my life loving you.
Ooh, the gym does that body good.
What did you say?
Nothing. Never mind. I was just saying I need to make sure I get to gym. Gotta get in some reps today.
And I'm so happy that we are together.
What? Are you talking to the waiter?
No. Yes, definitely.
Strange. Anyway, I was thinking about taking our relationship to the next level.
Wow, you mean a wedding?
Yes!
Oh my gosh, honey. This is so exciting.
Are you serious?
What? Honey, hold on. Let me clear this up. Section C19. Flirting with other guys keeps your relationship on its toes as long as you don't go past first base. Your commitment is not in danger. Legally, flirtation and first base engagement is within the law according to Contract 35B.
What?
Section
What?
C of...
Who wrote that nonsense?
Honey, don't get snappy. Section 7 has a good article on conflict negotiation. To sum it up, I'm always right. Anyways, this is the exact same manual used by countless people around the world. This is pretty solid stuff, hun.
Nobody would ever agree to anything like that.
Funny, because I do remember you were saying you wanted to take me out twice a week.
I did say that. But how would
So
you...
I just wrote my own creative commentary on your words and applied it to the other guys I bump into on our off days. But I kept our date days free for you. Isn't that great?
No, it's not. Our relationship isn't some dumb rule book. It's supposed to be based on love, commitment, compassion.
Honey, I still stand by it. I just defined compassion in my book as being compassionate to my own desires first. I need to take care of myself before I can take care of you, you know? I wrote it in last month from a Facebook post. So deep, right?
Okay. Whoa. I think we're done here.
That reminds me, I'm running late to my date with David.
You're what?
Honey, only first base. Come on, read the manual. It's all there.
I love you so much.
We are over, Susie. It's finished. You cannot have me and another man.
You're so funny. One more reason why I love you. I get to go wedding dress shopping.
I'll call you.
Dude, did you read her book? It's amazing.
So how would you react to this situation? Nobody would put up with that mess. But if this is the standard for us with love, why do we think that God would accept less?
Unfortunately, that's exactly what we do to God in many situations. Our culture has written a law for the law, and if you look around, it seems that we are always pushing to the edge of the lines. In relationships, we study the love languages, how to relate. And if you want to be successful in your relationship, you'll make sure to find out what makes your partner happy or sad, angry or joyful, and make sure to do your best to serve the other's needs. If I took the command, do not commit adultery, but I kissed and flirted with other women, do you think my wife would accept that? But at the same time, do we see God's commands, but then watch movies that compromise His commands with lust, filthy language, and murder? And the point is this: legalism isn't love. And that's why Yeshua said concerning adultery that everyone who looks at a woman with lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart.
When you read on the surface of the Gospels, you will see that Yeshua had many confrontations with the religious leaders of the day. They were constantly seeking to find fault with how His disciples washed their hands, paid the temple tax, rested on Shabbat, and questions on the law concerning marriage, atonement, and many other things. But as we read, the teachers of the law had Yeshua all wrong, and they had the law wrong too.
As we study the laws in the Torah, we can see an underlying theme. We can almost call it a mystery that was obviously not seen by the teachers and Jewish community. Let's consider the 10 Commandments. If we were to examine them carefully, we would see a clear theme. The first 4 commandments have a direct action towards God, while the remaining 6 have a direct action towards man. When looking at the 10 Commandments as a whole, we can see that the foundation is all about relationship, our personal relationship with God, and how we then relate to others. Yeshua summed this up when the Pharisees questioned him. "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" Yeshua responded, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." The entire Torah and the prophets hang on these 2 commandments.
We talked about this a bit in the previous episode, but it's such a crucial revelation to understand. The whole of the Bible and the story of the gospel is one of redemption. God redeeming us and even sending Yeshua so that we could enter back into a relationship with Him. In 1 Samuel is one example of God's personal relationship with us. Samuel was grieving because God had rejected Saul as king over Israel. Saul did what many of us do. He was given a command, but because of pride in his heart and the fear of man, he disobeyed God. The telling part was that when he was confronted, instead of humbling himself, he justified himself. At the end, he was more concerned with saving face than repenting to God. And as we read further, the tragic story of Saul unfolds worse and worse.
On the other hand, we see when David was anointed as king, Samuel thought Eliab would be God's choice for king, as he was tall, handsome, and strong. But Samuel is surprised when God says, "Do not look at his appearance or at the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For God sees not as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart."
The powerful meaning of this story is that God looked at Saul's heart and saw a man who was unwilling to follow and honor God and was not shining the light that we spoke of last week. At the same time, God chose David and no one else to replace Saul, because God looked at the heart of David and saw a man that, despite his mistakes, had a heart that sought to honor God. The Lord desires our whole heart to serve and love Him, not just a part of it. God may be speaking to you right now about something you've been holding back, something you know is a sin that you need to turn away from.